I would say if you're considering bringing your child to Delta Gamma, there is no better place. I don't remember as much of this story because I was 6 months old, but my parents, when they found out that I was blind, were terrified and so uncertain. It was like, what is my daughter going to do? Like, they weren't even thinking about college at that point. They were thinking, how is she going to get up and navigate her environment and go to school and learn and read? And it was all these concerns, and they did not know where to turn. They didn't know any other blind people, and they got connected with Delta Gamma, and it was just immediate support, immediate acceptance of, we understand where you're coming from, we understand where you are, but here's what's possible once you get past that uncertain stage. Here is what your child not only can do, but will do.
I would say the most significant thing that Delta Gamma has done to make a difference in our family is empowering us with information about how to help Ella. Environmental changes like putting fluorescent tape on the steps outside, to introducing us to other families so that Ella can have experiences with other children that have issues similar to hers. It really has just been, I think the information that they've empowered us with is really probably been the most significant. The parent universities have definitely been great opportunities just to learn and again to connect with other parents.
It's a life changer for your child, and that you really don't know what you're going to get until you get involved with them. It's really, there's an encompassing amount of services that you get, and they really do a great job, and you will see your child progress at whatever steps those might be, but you will see progression.
They really see Ella as a whole child, and the areas that they are supporting, while certainly it is vision focused, her vision impacts every area of her growth and development and learning, and they view us as a family, they view her as a whole child, and are there to support and assist with her, with our growth, really, holistically. So
I've had a really positive attitude about blindness all my life, thanks to Delta Gamma and thanks to my parents. I know it definitely helped that I started out with a little bit of orientation and mobility in Delta Gamma through their early intervention services. It was a constant in a world that was always changing, because I was always changing schools, and I would have new teachers and I'd meet new friends at school, but I'd always have kind of this constant, almost like family presence that was always there.
I found out about Delta Gamma through the First Steps program. Delta Gamma has helped me and my family, because without them, I don't think that I can get through the challenges and stuff that I have now, especially with Julie. Julie is from Delta Gamma, and she comes out to my house to work with the children on their goals and where they're going to succeed when they get older. She's very excellent. She'll come into my home and work with the twins, and all my kids has been through the Delta Gamma program, and when they get older and step out in the real world, that they don't have to fear it.
The Delta Gamma Center does a great job facilitating opportunities for families to come learn about their child and the way they learn. They also have multiple opportunities for families to connect to each other, because it's isolating sometimes for a new family to get a diagnosis and then feel like they're all alone in the world. And I feel like we're kind of a connecting point for many families to come connect with each other and also learn.
And Delta Gamma has helped our family tremendously. I would recommend anybody to Delta Gamma.
Finley is our 6-year-old little girl. She falls under the cerebral palsy umbrella. When Finley started receiving services from Delta Gamma, they sent somebody out to our house and did a very in-depth visual evaluation. It was amazing. And from there, she qualified for services, and they invited us to come into the center. It was 2 to 3 times per month for something they call buddy builders. and this is from kids from birth until 3 years of age. By the time Finley graduated Buddy Builders, I didn't really realize how much Delta Gamma had become sort of the hub of everything that we did. Finley has lots of siblings, and Delta Gamma has always incorporated Finley's siblings into her vision education. They actually began a sib shop, is what it's called, and they invite the kids that are Delta Gamma kids, they invite their siblings to come an evening once a month, and Finley can't go. It's just for the siblings, and they do activities where they can talk about what it's like to have a sibling with special needs, but they don't have to. They a lot of times do like writing exercises and drawing exercises, but then they have fun. Delta Gamma has a rock wall, and the kids get to let loose on that. Really, when we thought about Finley being a kid that had neurological issues, we didn't really think about how much vision has everything to do with everything that we do. So the fact that they did realize this and helped us to see that. And so the speech and language pathologist was incorporating vision, and the occupational therapist was incorporating vision. They gave us ideas on how we could take Finley on outings, and even though she might not be able to see things the way that other kids do, they showed us how to bring her into the environment and how to get the most out of it.
When we went on our summer challenge trips, which is something we did every year with Chat and Party, we did things that, depending on how adventurous our parents were, they would not consider us doing. We went tandem biking, we went sailing, we went hiking, we went rock climbing, and I kind of feel like you can't jump headlong into things like that and not end up a little bit independent and a little bit stubborn, like, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go back home, and if I can hike this trail in Washington State, or if I can ride a tandem bike for 3 days across 4 states, I can cross this street.
We originally found out about Delta Gamma through our ophthalmologist more as a diagnostic for children below school age in the peripheral field, and they were very good at working with kids and figuring out where they had vision and where they didn't.
The volunteers at Delta Gamma are very helpful and are always very nice and kind.
Gamma gives kids that really don't always have the chance to be independent and don't get the chance to do things that, quote, normal kids do, the sighted kids do. It gives them an opportunity to do it in a safe way with caring adults and the freedom to do that without a hovering parent.
Yeah.
It's a safe place for kids. It's a safe place for them to explore outside of just their parents and their home. And it's a positive thing. I mean, the goal of every parent is to have their children be independent, to raise them and let them fly. And visual impairments can get in the way of that, but I think Delta Gamma really supports it.
I would say with Delta Gamma, I just kind of, first off, I was shy when I started, but I think after a while I just got normal to it and I embraced it and I liked it a lot.
And I would encourage any parents that has a child that Delta Gamma is going to have something for your child. They're going to have something to offer. All the different activities they can do, I would definitely say go for it if it was a need.
Your child is not broken. That's the thing. I remember, my mom tells me this all the time, that's the thing that hit her the most. I remember one of the Debbies sat down with her one day when she was really struggling and said, "Your daughter's not broken. She's just blind." And that has been the attitude that my parents have carried all my life, and I couldn't help but adopt it. It's been such a fundamental part of my upbringing that I can't help but believe that today.